Hey guys, welcome to the next part of Soccer AM Goes Pro in Football Manager 2012, and I'm going to be going over now the month of January, and the reason for that I'm only going to be doing 1 month this time is because there are only 3 matches in January, and I have decided to show you all 3. At least there'll be 3. I'm not too sure if we get through to the FA Trophy third round we'll have another game, but we'll have to see. But yeah, there's 3 games I'm going to be doing live commentaries for them all. Which I'll just go over very quickly now, just to tell you about the future very quick. We then have, I'll then do recaps for February and March. As you can see, there's a lot of games here. And then we end in April, I beg your pardon, May, April, at the end of April. So, but I'll go over this very quickly. This has been the last month then. So if we go from Bamber Bridge here, Eastleigh, we have only lost once, which is good. You know, we are still keeping up a decent enough record here. You know, I mean, if we compare it to what we had at the start of the season, if we just compare real quick to, you know, the absolute catastrophe we had at the start of the season, I mean, up to a point, you know, before the Havants and Waterlooville victory, I mean, we'd won twice, and I mean, a lot of draws, yes, but not that great, you know. I mean, we weren't doing that great. But if we look at the second half, I mean, we've only lost once since, let's see, I suppose since losing to Totton in the FA Cup. We've lost twice. Now that's not bad considering I've got half a team of amateurs. We're going over here very quickly then. The game after Bamber Bridge was against Eastleigh. And, well, it was a rare game because it was a game we actually dominated, believe it or not. And we actually went into half-time losing. As you can see, Hartley scored an own goal in the 10th minute. And then Dali Gomez brought one back for us. But then another one of their players, a Brazilian of all nations, are Brazilian in the Blue Square Bet Premier League. That's in the Blue Square Bet South. I don't know if it is. I don't know. Is it a Premier League or something? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, they had a Brazilian score for them. So at this point, it's 2-1, and then Derek Bassey, coming up with an 86th minute equaliser, and then Dali Gomez coming up with an 88th minute winner. I'll show you this now because I mean, honestly, I didn't even. I mean, to be honest, we deserved at least a point. Let me put it this way. I'll show you this now. It's hard to keep it at this on 2D because it's a little easier. A little bit lucky there for Dali Gomez. Poor defending, I have to admit, but nevertheless, it was a good goal for us, and it meant we kept going up table. You know, it was another good victory, and then, in fact, another even more crazy victory for us came at Eastbourne Borough right after the Eastleigh game. This was just a nutty second half. I mean, as you can see, if we look at the score at half time, it was just 1-0. Dali Gomez continued. That's like what, 3, and that would have been 3 in 2 games for him. I can't remember if he scored against Bamber Bridge or not, but it was extraordinary because 3 minutes in, I'm like, oh, this is going to be easy, and then no goals at half time. Anthony Wilson then put us 2-0 up. Then they all of a sudden went within a space of a few minutes. Ryan James got an own goal, made it 2-2, and Langston getting a goal earlier to make it 2-2. I was just thinking, what the hell is going on? And then the Somalian Pirates scored to make it 3-2. Then they scored an 80th minute equaliser again to make it 3-3. And then Danny Edwards popping up seemingly out of nowhere to give us a 4-3 lead. Now at this point, I was thinking, okay, they're going to get a 4-4 equaliser here. It's just going to happen. I mean, if we look at the goal here, I mean, as you can see, it was a very open game. It was a great ball from Kirtland, and a brilliant ball in from the Pirate there, and Danny Edwards arriving on the spot. But as you can see, you know, I mean, a lot of bookings in there. You may notice over the next few games, a lot of bookings. I don't know why, but they dominated again. But we somehow scraped the victory. I do not know how we do this. And yes, that was that. And then we played against Truro. This was obviously 1-1. This was a very difficult game. Even though, I mean, it was difficult for a period, and then they got Joe Broad sent off in. I'm going to show you this. This was just extraordinary. Dave Morgan missing a penalty. They went 1-0 up through Aaron Pugh in the 40th minute. Then we had the chance of an equaliser from this Dave Morgan penalty in which they had the player sent off. I think Broad got sent off, I think his name was. And I thought, yes, here we go. It's our chance to go and win it now. And then Dave Morgan blasts it over the bar. And I changed, as you can see, to attacking. And I was just thinking, it's not going to be our day, is it? After Broad got sent off. And then Danny Edwards again popping up with another winner. Max Rushton having a big... He actually played well today in that game, Max Rushton. But Danny Edwards with Well, I was going to say the goalkeeper should really do better there, but then again, we are talking about blue square bet quality, so it's not great. But we rescued the point in the end. We really probably should have lost that game because we were just incredibly unlucky. But I think there was a difference here. We didn't take our chances in the last game. In this one, we certainly did. 5-1 against Woking. As you can see, Chris Worsley with 2 goals, Anthony Wilson right on the stroke at half-time, Dali Gomez and Ryan James. Elvis Hammond, who I think some Leicester fans may remember, I'm sure he used to play for Leicester. I mean, just the name, Elvis. How do you just don't forget a name like that, It was an extraordinary name, and I remember looking at his name at the time thinking, I'm sure he was in the Football League, but look at him now, he's playing for Woking. And probably has another part-time job, but as you can see, we dominated this game. Very rare again. We dominated this game. They kind of lucky to get that goal back, but I'll show you the pick. I'll show you Anthony Wilson's goal right on the stroke half time. Just gave us, the chance to go in with a bit of a buffer. 2-0. At this point, it was 1-0, and I think they started to build up a bit of a head of steam at this point. But half asleep from this throw in, Dali Gomez whips the ball, and there's Anthony Wilson with a good header. And that kind of stuff. And then Dali Gomez, I'll show you another one. Then I'll show you Gomez's goal. He just seems to have, I don't know. He's just really good, Dali Gomez. I would recommend him. I think someone's mentioned in the past in the comments that he had him, and he's a really decent player. I'd recommend him. Argentinian, and he's really good. He's blended in with the team well. And then we took that 5-1 victory and made it count again as we went to Boreham Wood. And Dali Gomez once again scoring, but the Somalian Pirates with a penalty in the 49th minute, I guess, or the 45th plus 4. That's difficult to say. But with a penalty here, and I had to stop and make sure. Dave Morgan wasn't on his penalty. I mean, it was a good breakaway here. You may notice the distinctive lack of lack of long balls, and apparently that was a penalty. I don't know exactly what happened there, but that was a penalty. And I actually had to make sure that the Pirate was going to take this, because I think Morgan missed a penalty in the past. He missed the one obviously before, but he missed one before that as well. So I think this made us 2-0 up. I think it did, yeah, it doesn't matter anyway. And then we went into Dover, a fairly even game, and unfortunately Worsley scored, but as you can see, a player called Hugh, I think, or Huke, I don't know how you pronounce that. But he got an 86th minute equaliser. I was very disappointed in this one. But an extraordinary goal, really. I mean, Worsley with that free kick, he just whipped it in. And it was kind of like that Paul Konchesky goal in the FA Cup final against Liverpool. Just came from nowhere. And then an extraordinarily long throw. I've never thought I'd see that happen. It happened so quickly at the time. I was like, whoa, what? And it just sort of took me by surprise, because long throws in the blue square bet was, I don't know, a rarity, I think, And then we went to Basingstoke. It was one of those games we really just couldn't get going. As you can see, I'm looking at the amount of bookings they've had. I mean, and it just sort of all went wrong for us. Ryan James got injured, and I think at this point it was 2-2 against Farnborough as well. Fairly even. I was going to say, don't let that fool you. That was actually a fairly even game. As you can see, though, a lot of bookings again, and I don't know what's going on all of a sudden. I don't know if we've just become foul magnets or something, but don't let this statistic fool. I remember this at the time. It was a fairly even game. We perhaps were a little bit lucky to get away with the point, but nevertheless, a decent point away from home. And but if we look at the league, then we are currently 4th. Not that far away from the top, but we are still certainly in contention for not necessarily automatic promotion spots, but certainly the 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th place. I'd certainly would be happy with the 5th place at the moment. Obviously we're 5 points ahead of 6th, who are just outside of that, of course. Chances are we're not going to get relegated, which is good, because relegated, I think, obviously it can't be relegated. Of course, if you don't know, by the way, I know a few people have asked me, what happens if you get relegated from the Blue Square Bet leagues? You get immediately sacked, and it's like a game over screen, essentially. I'm still going to try and hold on to this promotion spot, but I can't promise anything. If we continue in the form we've been going through, we've got a great chance. If we look at the squad now, of course, we'll be doing the live commentary next in the FA Cup. But if we look at the squad now, I've sent a few players on holiday that are a little bit jaded and need a rest. I mean, bear in mind here, we're talking about amateurs and semi-professionals. They're not professional footballers. So especially some of them are 23, 16 here for God's sake, and they can get a little bit jaded and all that sort of stuff. So I decided leave them. I'm going holiday. Might even get to see some the regular Soccer AM folk come back. So that's that. Yeah. So we are fourth, and if I show you currently the goals, Anthony Wilson has 13, which is really good to pay back for us. Darley Gomez with 9, Rushton with 6, Baby Elvis with 6. Honestly, he's actually, I've mentioned it before, he is really good, Baby Elvis. I'm not even kidding. As a as a freaking winger, I'm talking about here. Obviously you've got Hartman as he's a defence. I don't know if I think I've played him mostly an attacking role. He's not bad, decent return for 2. And Worsley, again, I think I've sometimes played him at centre back, and he's done well. So yeah, I'm really trying to get the best out of these players, and hopefully, we can do that as well against Ebbsfleet in the FA Trophy. So yeah, that's your roundup completed. Hope you have enjoyed this. Give the video a like if you want, and I'll be back in the next video, which will most likely be, I don't know. Only thing I can tell you now for a fact is the Soccer AM videos are now going to be a regular feature every Friday. We're going to have at least one a week, hopefully 2. We'll see. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you then for the Ebbsfleet game. Bye bye for now.